Said I wasn't going to drink, and here I am.
Are you drinking?
Oh, I got one.
All right, we are live. Welcome everybody back to another edition of Chairgatin. I'm your host Rattlesnake, coming at you live once again from the Snake Pit here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Joined by my co-host Dakota. What up, Dakota?
What's up, y'all? We're back on the mics, ones and twos. We went to, for some reason, we're still going to the Roval, and I don't know why, and we're gonna break that down. Man, it's good to be back. It's good to talk to you. I've about had it. Is what all I gotta say. But let's get another episode in before we wind this season down.
Let's do it. What's up? It's Chairgatin coming at you live.
Hello, come right in. Rock, flag, and eagle.
Well, you're back. Okay, so I just found this koozie. Look at this thing.
Wait, is it a boot?
Yeah, it's like a little cowboy boot. It's from Darlington.
Oh shit, that's kind of sick.
You know what I think it was from? I went to the minor league baseball team in Myrtle Beach, the Pelicans. Not the Mermen, even though you would think it is if you watched Eastbound and Down. And they were giving these away. So I was just trying it out, and God, I hate it. It's the most impractical koozie you could imagine.
Like, how do you even hold it?
Yeah, so it's like really awkward to hold, right? Because I got the boot coming out kind of where my pinky should be. And then when you drink, so it's like a boot, so there's a cut, and it goes up higher on the edges with the little tabs to pull the boot up. And that's like right where my fucking lip's supposed to go. So now my lip's like pressed up against this shit.
It's all show, no go.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Oh man, dude, how was your week? What you been up to?
Well, now I'm just looking for another koozie. I fucking
dude, I had like 6 down here where like I'd just kind of be like, which one am I going to use tonight? And then they've slowly all disappeared. And I have a good old Daytona 500 one that I typically use, but I'm like, where's all my fucking koozies?
That's exactly how I feel right now. Let's see. How's my week been? Dude, it has flown by. It's just flown
dude, I
by.
don't like. I thought it was fucking August.
Yeah, it's like halfway. We're halfway through October.
Halfway through October, like I was out of town all week for work. I got home last night and was just like, "Fuck, is it Wednesday or Thursday?" And I was like, "Oh, it's Wednesday." And I was like, "Oh shit!" And I was like, "I guess we're doing an episode tomorrow." I was like, "I don't know, I haven't talked to you." I was like, "I guess we're doing. I assume we're doing one." I was like, "What are we gonna talk about?"
Yeah,
the Roval. And I was like,
ugh.
I was like, I hope he like has plans and is busy or something.
I hope he has like a death in the family or something, so we don't have to do this podcast.
I'm excited to you, but I'm about sick of talking about fucking Roval racing.
Yeah, man. I was just watching University of Houston football. We were beating West Virginia, so that's a feeling I'm not used to. Winning. So I don't know. Maybe we'll win that. Oh no, we're losing again. Okay, cool. So that's back to normal. Perfect. Yeah, I guess pretty much all your teams are, except the Braves. They might lose tonight, right?
Well, they just scored. I'm just getting this in 1-0. I'll take it.
Okay, so you understand y'all have to win tonight to tie up the series.
It's 2-1 right now, Phillies.
Yeah,
amateur baseball fan, don't really give a shit. Yay, Braves by default. Yeah, whatever. If they lose, I'm just like, yeah, whatever. If they win, I'm like, yeah, fucking Braves, baby. That's right, Braves. But like, I could give a shit less whether they win or lose. But you know, while it's on, I'm gonna watch and go Georgia, whatever. How about them fucking dogs though? Speaking of University, I don't want to hear shit about schedules and this and that, dude. Because everybody was talking about how Kentucky was gonna whoop the fuck out of them, and it was unopposed.
True. It is true. Everyone kind of, I wouldn't say people were saying Kentucky was going to whoop the fuck out of them. I think that's a bit much.
I get a lot of like Facebook Georgia group
but I will say people put Georgia
I see a lot of Georgia hate memes.
People put Georgia on upset alert for sure.
Yeah, I even was like, "Oh, I don't know." And
Yep.
then the first quarter, I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
let's go."
Yeah, y'all looked like the best team this week. To be honest, this season y'all have not
I
like
think
last year.
they're
Each
just
week,
like, don't we don't have to go to fourth gear. Just keep it in third, like until we
maybe
need
that's what
to.
they're doing
I
because
don't know.
this whole year I was like, well, y'all are definitely a top 4 team, like duh.
Yeah,
But I
I
was like,
agree.
I don't
It's
know,
not.
maybe
It,
there's another team that's like the best team now. But after last week, I'm like, no, y'all are probably still the
I was
best team.
telling Ronnie, I was like, it's the Georgia Bulldogs, not the Georgia Bulldogs. Like they're not them, but there's progress. This last week's game was the best they've looked all season.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
I was
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
fuck yeah, okay.
For sure.
I'll allow it. I'll take it.
Yeah. Also, your Falcons beat my Texans.
Hey, dude, don't get me started on the motherfucking Falcons because by default with Felicia, I have to watch every game.
I know. I think I talked some shit to Felicia on
Eh,
Instagram.
Oh yeah, she told me you were talking shit to her, and then she was like, "The fucking Texans."
Yeah, because she posted some shit about the Falcons winning. I was
Dude,
like, fuck.
you know how hard it is being a Falcons fan? Every fucking game
Dude, I'm
comes
a
down.
Texans fan. Come
Dude,
on.
every game comes down to the last 57 seconds, and they have to get to the field goal line or stop this team from kicking a field goal. And it's like, why is every game like this? Or
Well,
they get a lead and just choke it away, or they just never ever score till like the last 7 minutes.
I really thought that this was the Texans' year. And losing to y'all, I was kind of like, oh, all right, maybe
I think
not.
CJ Stroud's promise, like
That's the thing. I think we're still going to
he's
be
got some
good.
building. You can something to build off of.
Right.
Give it a
Yeah.
couple seasons.
I'm hopeful for the future for the first time in a long time for that team.
We were cracking up because the broadcast was just like, CJ Stroud, he's so handsome. He's amazing.
He's so hot right now.
He's so smart and effective, and he's effective and smart. And then I can't stand
Also,
Ritter,
he
but
has
they
a
were
huge
like,
dick,
"Man,
and his dad has a huge
yeah.
dick, and
Whole
everybody in his
family a huge
family,
dick."
just all huge dicks.
And they were like, and
that's the
Derek
Stroud
Ritter is
family.
getting off the field. They were just like jerking off CJ Stroud, and I was like, dude, like, I give it like, hey, let's see what he can do. But they are like acting like he's fucking Michael Vick or
Well, I
Tom
hope
Brady.
so. I hope he fights dogs because
We need
that's
more
something
dog
we
fights.
need. We need more of that in Houston, Texas.
Mhm.
I think Houston's got quite a bit of that actually.
Yeah, I'm sure you could probably find a couple places. But we went NASCARing this past weekend. It was funny too. Because I told you I got called into work Sunday. I got called in at like 10 a.m. and I was like, "Fuck, man," because like I was kind of getting out of the woods. I was gonna get ready to like get my race day together and watch football and NASCAR. But then I was like, "Fuck," and I was like, "Oh well." I was like, "Maybe I'll be back before." I was not back before, but I was like, "Oh well." I'll pull it up on the iPad, and I had the scanner I had my Bluetooth speaker in the truck, so I had the scanner and the race plan. And Ronnie was with me, and whatever, we were watching it, and we stopped to get lunch. And I was like, "What up, big dog?" We stopped to get lunch. Go dogs! And I was
supposed to
like,
do that, Dakota,
I
every
forgot
time
I could
someone says
I could pull the. I won't do it. Is I was like, I could pull the game or the race up on my phone, and I was like, yeah, I'll just pause it and rewatch it like later. I don't even care right now. Like I was like, it's the Roval, and then we got back in the truck. I just hit play. Like I don't even care where we're at. Clap Denver's cheeks or watch Chairgatin. Oh, wow. Oh, is it Chiefs versus Broncos? Good God, I wouldn't want to watch that.
Yeah, I had to rewatch it today because I was thinking back. I was like, okay, we're gonna do the episode tonight. So I got off work and I was just kind of sitting around the house, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna put the race back on. Like maybe I need a fresh take on this.
Yeah.
Like really give it a chance.
Hmm.
And I texted you like halfway through. I was like, God, I hate this fucking race.
I immediately I was trying to it's the Roval. Like, the only thing that made it anything for me was like, let's see if nobody can fuck up that's in the playoff bubble or like maybe some crazy upset, like maybe Kyle Busch wins or like let's see what drama happens with the playoff bubble. If this race isn't in the playoff bubble, this is just a waste of everybody's time, which it already is. But I was kind of thinking, I was just like, the only thing that makes this look fun and nitty is the playoff drama. Like, if there was no playoffs, this
Right.
is just stupid. Like, why are we doing this? Which I already think it is, but like, this isn't racing. This is like, who cannot run into the wall in turn one? fucking Rainbow Road, blue shells. Watch out for the banana. Like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. It's like this wasn't the worst race. I've seen more boring road course races for sure. But what frustrates me the most about this race is knowing that we could just be at the oval racing. And I know how good that race is because I've seen it this
Right.
year. Like
Right.
I know how good that fucking race is. Here, let's pull up let's real quick. Let me pull up Jeff Gluck. Okay, Charlotte, 2023. 91.2% approval on Jeff Gluck's poll. That's the number 2 race this year, right behind Kansas, which is actually really close to mine. All the way down here at one of the top 10 worst, 58%, the Roval.
Oh, what do you know?
Exactly. And I bet if I go pull up the year before, 2022, I bet I'm going to see the same type of shit. Oh, yeah. Bottom 3, Charlotte Roval, 19% approval.
Oh, Phillies just scored.
Top 5 from 2022 is Charlotte. So my point is why it upsets me is because I look at that and go like, why don't we just get that again? Like they take a turn on the track and I'm like, oh that.
Yeah, why? There it is. Why? Like we talked about with the schedule last week. Like that was the thing too. Is Junior was like, I don't think Roval's coming back. Had pretty much all of us like, hey, Junior said it. That's in stone.
I know, dude.
And then when it was back on the schedule, that was another thing. I was already pissed about the schedule, but that was a big top 3-er for me. Was like, why are we still doing this? And everything I've heard, like drivers, like, yeah, this has ran its course. Christopher Bell said he was disappointed that this was coming back.
Damn.
Like. Everybody's like,
I didn't know Christopher Bell could be disappointed, actually.
Yeah,
so that's surprising as well.
This whole thing is like, why are we still doing this? Okay. I just, and as like a fading out old man is like how much more gimmicky can we make it to make it like this isn't about racing. This is about like calamity.
Right.
And it's not even like calamity anymore. It's more just like they're like, hey, we're trying to race, and they're like, no, y'all are gonna wreck or something, and they're like, no, like we're all good. This car is pretty easy to drive. Like we're all good here. We're all going the same speed, so we can't pass, and I think we got good control of it. No, somebody needs to ride the wall. One of y'all ride the wall. Like, it just seems like they're forcing the issue. Like, hey, instead of just letting the race play out and like, whoa, did you see he dumped him for 3rd? And whoa, he's talking to him on pit road. Is like they want. It's like they're like, fucking hit him. Go hit him. And he's like, no, I'm not. I'm actually cool with that guy. I don't have any problem with him. It was a racing deal. They're like, no, it wasn't.
Yeah, and I think what surprised me too was that we were not. I thought most people would agree with us that this was kind of just like, what's the point of this race?
Yeah.
But a lot of our friends,
if this is your clash, fine.
But a lot of our friends have said no, they liked this race. So that's
that one throws me for a loop.
That's what's been throwing me off. Is I'm just a little like,
why do I make these people my friends? Like, it baffles me. Like I was telling you is like, oh man, yeah, I hated this. Like I'll give you the first year was fun and wacky, Johnson fucking Truex spinning in the last turn, Blaney everybody remote control dies into one. Chaos, full crazy ass. Whoa. But it wasn't a good race. It just had a bunch of crazy moments.
Right, exactly.
And the
Which
next
is the
year
same thing
was
about
like,
Chicago, by the way.
All right, cool. Chase did the same thing, and then he won. Wow, they really wanted him to win. And then, like, oh, that one year, Kevin dumped Chase, and then Kevin got scared and wrecked himself. I guess we had that. But then other than that, it's like, other than, like, the sweetheartness of AJ winning, tell me anything about this race.
Right.
Oh, Corey LaJoy ran out of talent again. Dude, that's just a weekly ordeal.
Right, yeah.
But, yeah, nothing. I didn't see any
the playoff
racing
drama with, like, Kyle Busch made it interesting.
Yeah, that like with the restarts with like 10 to go out and Kyle's right there on the first and second row. I'm like, ooh, like okay, I'll sit up for this. And then the
booth,
pulled off.
the booth did a pretty good job of like laying that out for us as well. And
Yeah,
I think
like,
they
look at
helped.
this.
Yeah, I think they helped kind of build some of that excitement by being like, so this is kind of where he needs to finish, and like he's running up front now, which is why he would be in the playoffs. But
Yeah,
like I liked that they talked about that a lot with Kyle. But
yeah,
yeah, that was kind of the only like interesting part of the race.
yeah. I agree, man. It was rough. It was rough to. I was just more like, yeah, this. I was like, Ronnie was like, where are they racing at? Like, cause I was like, hey, we got flipped to the race, and I was like, ugh, well, I was like embarrassed to tell them where they were racing at. I was like, it's
You're like,
the
it's Charlotte, and you're like,
Roval.
oh, cool.
Yeah,
Well,
no, yeah, it's the Roval. And then he's like, what? The like road course track. I'm like, yeah, it's nothing crazy, but I'm gonna watch it.
right.
Like that's how I felt going in, and that's how I feel now. Like,
Yeah, after rewatching it today, to be even fresher and give it a real honest try, I still was like, God, dear God, what am I watching? Like,
yeah,
this is just, I mean, I don't like road course racing. I've been upfront about that. Just the last week on the episode, the LTC crew came on and I talked about that. I also thought it was funny that Cody was advocating for right turns, since he's the leader of the left turn cult.
that
Seems
is
like
a good
maybe
one.
seems like maybe I should be the leader of that
Didn't
cult
you,
since
dude?
I
Didn't you
only
go on their
want left
show
turns.
Monday?
Yeah, I did.
I was like laying in bed, or I was getting ready for bed, and I saw like it was like LTC's live, and I was like, oh shit. And it was like, well, Rattlesnake. I was like, oh, let me check it out. And then I got on there and you weren't on there, and I was like, where's Rattlesnake? And they're like, oh,
Cody, just admit that I should be the leader of the cult since I truly hate right turns.
I was like, where's Rattlesnake? They're like, oh, he's gone. I was like, y'all been on for 20 minutes.
No, dude. Were we only on for 20 minutes?
No, you were. They were on for like 3 hours.
Yeah, I was on for dude. We just shot the shit for like 20 minutes beforehand too. Like I was
Oh,
on for an hour.
no, I got on to like, oh, I can't wait to hear Matt talking shit on there, and you were gone. I was like, oh,
No, I stayed on for like an hour actually. I was gonna only be on for a little bit. I didn't talk about the
at
race at
least you showed
all
up.
because I told him that no Matt was on for an hour.
Yeah,
Yeah, see,
that's
thank
on me.
you.
All right. Well,
Um
they do film 3.5 hour episodes.
yeah, no, I mean we didn't even get into the racing, but I was like, to be honest, I had more fun talking about anything but racing. So
Yeah.
I think that my favorite part about going on that show, and I don't know if everyone agrees with me, but my favorite part of that show is Parv. So I love going on that show and just talking to
Harv
Parv.
Daddy.
Yeah, I
Um,
truly enjoy our conversations. He is the most entertaining part of that show.
yeah, I'm not even like trying to be a negative Nancy lately. I've noticed that the last 2 seasons, I think, or like you've probably even noticed it with me, is like about this time every year. It's totally like Kevin unrelated. This time every year, I'm just like, I'm tired, boss. Like, I don't even give a fuck anymore. Like,
Yeah.
yay, let's crown a champion. Let's get this, let's go. And that doesn't mean I'm advocating I want a shorter season. I've just like, I'm burnt out. I've hit my wits end. I get this way every season where I'm like, all right, let's finish this goddamn thing. Like,
Do you think
I don't
that
know.
is because I know you've been a big advocate for the playoff system, but do you think that is related to the playoffs?
Yeah, kind of. And I feel like it's been just rubbing a sharp blade against a fucking rock for the last decade, and
Hmm.
the blade's dull. The blade's
Interesting.
dull
Okay.
now. And it was like really fucking fun for like 6, 7 years, maybe. And then I think there's more advocation now with all these people in their podcasts and more fucking social media getting around where more people are like, yeah, why are we doing this?
Hmm.
Like, one of our top stars is calling the championship like a fluke, or
Yeah.
it.
I mean,
Well, they're deserving, but
yeah. He did mention. He
yeah,
said every single one's deserving, but because also I thought
yeah,
that was funny because he hasn't won one of those. So I was like,
yeah,
oh, it's
I get
probably
it, and
a
I
little bit
hope he
easier to
does one
say.
day. But it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I get it. But then that's where I've gotten to where I'm like, dude, I mean, with this format, it's like who? And then I think Final Four appearances should be some sort of asterisk. But it's like, yeah, with this format, it's just I've gotten to where I'm like, who fucking cares who wins the championship? Like, I just felt like 7-time Dale Earnhardt fucking champion, and Jimmy Johnson getting 7 was a big deal, even though 7th was kind of weird. But it's just like now I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, Kyle Larson did win it. Yeah. And then like Denny was saying, he's like, yeah, I mean Joey won it, but he didn't do shit all year.
If every year was like Harvick's 2020 regular season, Dakota would be like, let's run 52 races.
I mean, it was a fun time to be a Ford fan.
Yeah, that was wild. I can tell you, I just watched the entire High Limit series, and granted, that is only like I think like 12 or 13 races, so very different.
Yeah.
It's that Kyle Larson Sprint Car Series,
Yeah.
and
I
it
saw
was
your stories posting it.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. They just wrapped that up earlier this week on Tuesday, and Kyle Larson started out like a certain amount of points ahead of Rico, and Rico won the race, and Kyle got third, but he was crowned champion because he finished just high enough to still have enough points to beat him. So I mean, that was really exciting. No playoffs necessary, just straight up racing.
And I like the playoffs. I just think I've gotten to where I'm kind of just like, oh, whatever, dude. Whatever. And I also think it's like if they release the schedule in May, I'd probably been like, oh, okay, wow, that's different. I don't like that. But, okay. But then now, like, I'm that SpongeBob meme I sent earlier. Like, that is me right now watching NASCAR. And now they release the schedule, and I'm like, just go to hell. I don't even care.
Well, okay, so how many more road course races did they add?
They took one away.
Did we lose one? I thought we
They
got
took away
another.
the Indy road course.
Yeah. But do we not get any other dates? So we lost one.
Yeah, we just lost that. We had 6. Now we have 5.
Okay.
Progress.
Yeah, that's progress. That is
Yeah.
actually huge progress. Yeah,
See you, Cody, man. This is how I feel on Mondays.
Because
oh shit,
I just thought it was funny that we've been making this big push for road course racing, street course racing. The car was redesigned to be more of a road course car, and I'm just looking at Jeff Gluck's polls from this year. And number 1 is Kansas Intermediate. Number 2 is Charlotte Intermediate. Number 3 is Daytona Super Speedway.
Daytona.
You what?
I said it's Daytona.
Yeah. Number 4 is Fontana. Number 5 is Atlanta, Kansas, Talladega, Michigan, and then we finally get to Chicago Street Course, which I think was only rated so high because of how it was. Because after that is Darlington, Nashville. Like it's all big tracks.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Shame. It's a damn shame what this car has done.
It's a damn shame what the car couldn't do.
What this car's doing to short tracks. That is funny.
Yeah.
What this car has done to short tracks, because like there's 3 or 4 short tracks that should be in that list, but they're not.
That are getting suffered because of
I can't argue with that.
Yep, it's that's the thing, you can't, because when you watch it, you go, yeah, man, the product is not as good. This car is better on intermediate and super speedways, which is bittersweet because here's the thing, that's a majority of our schedule, and it always will be. So, I'm happy that we're getting good Kansas and Charlotte and Atlanta and Darlington and Daytona races, like at least we can be happy about that.
Yeah. It just there's some pluses, man. Those are like, okay, cool. Like we're getting Iowa. That's a bonus, and we're getting Indy Oval back. I'll take it. Like it's almost like it's like they're trading. Like, hey, look, I'll trade you Indy Oval for Watkins Glen in the playoffs. Like, god damn it, son of a bitch. And then like, all right. I'll be like, all right. I'll allow it. I'll trade you. I'll trade you Bristol Concrete for Atlanta back-to-back super speedway races. Fuck, got yourself a damn deal.
Yeah.
All right, the last bargaining chip. Roval stays. No, you wait a goddamn minute.
You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah. I don't know. Did you listen to Denny on his podcast talk about
this I think was one of his best episodes he's had.
Yeah.
This past week, because he went in.
I think he had a huge swing and a miss early though, when he
Really?
was talking about the Southern 500. And he goes,
Yeah,
"Why
he
do
goes,
people
"Ooh," he goes,
nobody
"Ooh,
even
Labor Day."
cares that
Yeah, I
it's
was
on
like,
Labor
"No,
Day?"
it's
And
gotta be on Labor
who
Day."
was it that said, was it
Is like
the
producer
producer?
guy. Yeah.
Yeah. And
And
he
they
was like,
give kinda good intellect because they're, like, ignorant or, like, they're new
yeah,
adolescent fan they're
they're
not adolescent.
professional athletes. They don't understand like regular problems.
Yeah, and he
Right.
was like, they're just, like, young guys. They're like, "Well, I've only been watching a couple years, but I know the fans kinda think like this." And then he's like, "Well, I guess I never thought of it that way."
Right. Yeah, because Denny's a professional athlete. Like
Yeah,
he doesn't have to deal with our same shit. So
yeah.
I am glad that somebody's there to be like, "Hey, by the way, like
He's like,
people
"College
actually
football starts on Saturday, and people are off Monday, and that's
right.
why they wanna
People
go."
like it's a really, really late race, you know. I
Yeah.
don't get home until 1 or 2
Okay.
AM.
Yeah.
And I live an hour and a half away. So, there you go. So I'm glad that he got called out for that. And he
Yeah.
kind of backed down off that one,
Yeah.
which I'm happy about because I was like, whoa, dude. I got my phone out. I was like gonna tweet at him. I was like, you motherfucker, don't you dare.
Don't you talk about my Labor Day weekend
Don't you,
plans.
dude. I love that I live so close
Yeah.
for the Southern 500 on Labor
But
Day.
I did totally agree of why we finally all came around the fact of accepting Daytona as the season finale. That was,
Yeah.
like, such a good move by NASCAR. And then, "Oh, it's Olympic year." I don't give a flying fuck. Like, it
I
didn't
know,
have to
dude. That
fall this
fucked it
way.
up.
And that was the thing too was, okay, like, well, Darlington season finale, I guess, but he said, "It's a crown jewel of its own, it deserves its own recognition." Like, now it's just gonna be like, "Oh, it's the season finale, who's gonna make the playoffs? Oh, yeah, and also it's the Southern 500." It's like, the Southern 500 should be the only thing, like, in the title, I
I
think.
agree with that. I agree with
Yeah.
that. I just think like you got to work around the fact that the Southern 500 is on Labor Day. Like
Yeah.
you need to work around that. Like don't move
Well,
my Southern 500 off Labor Day.
what was it Bob Parker said or whatever? Um He said or, on DBC, he had this crazy idea. He said, "Make the first round of the playoffs 4 races." He said, "Make Darlington" it'd be Darlington, Watkins Glen, or Darlington, Atlanta, Watkins Glen, Bristol. So make it 4 races. Who cares? He said, "And keep Daytona." He said, "Instead of 26 races, make it 25 races in the regular season."
Yeah,
He said,
honestly,
"Switch up." But I was like, "That's way too much, like, rule changing also." But it's like, I mean, then you still keep your season finale and your
everybody would be
Southern 500.
happy. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
I'd be more happy with that
yep.
than what we're getting.
I agree. And I think a lot of people would be because the Darlington crowd would be like, okay, so we still get our date. And everybody else would be like, so we get Daytona to finish the regular season. That's perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, the Darlington crowd would love that too. Like everybody wants, but I agree with what Denny was saying on the podcast about like everybody's kind of cool with Daytona capping off the season
Yeah.
now, and we've discussed that on the show as well. Like
Yeah.
we got over it and we kind of accepted it, and now we've gone
Now
all the
it's
way into
nothing.
being like it's actually kind of cool. I like
Now
the
you took
idea.
away my season finale, god damn it.
Right? Like why did you play with my balls just to fucking walk
Yeah,
away at the last second? Like
right.
I was
Tease.
getting into it. I finally got
Yeah,
hard for this thing. And now you're like, "All right, never mind. I'm out."
that's great. Hey, I gotta go.
I mean, 2 weeks of super speedways to kick off the year's wild, for 20 that one I like I don't care as much about that one, to be
It
honest.
doesn't bother me as much, but
Maybe it's just me.
I don't think it's a good move. Like, I'm kinda like, "Hey, fine, because 'cause I'll be at Atlanta." But I'm
Yeah.
also like, Atlanta in February, probably gonna rain. Gonna
Mhm.
be cold as shit.
Yeah.
And is like, I mean, is this the answer? I guess. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I do I do also understand, and Denny mentioned that as well, about the fact that now they're doing the Clash in LA. It is nice to not
It's a
have to go
little
back and
bigger
forth.
break. Yeah.
Yeah, to just be like, okay, we can from Daytona, we can just go to Atlanta, like that's chill. We don't have to go, back and forth across the country.
And what Sonoma's earlier in the year, right? Or Sonoma the same? I don't even remember.
I don't know. Did they move Sonoma? I should have just pulled up the.
Oh my god, Philly scored again. It's over.
It's over.
It's fucking over. I don't even remember his schedule. From my stupid group chats. What is world's coming to?
Okay, what are you looking for? Which race?
Sonoma, where was it at? Is it still in the summer?
June 9th.
Okay, it's still in the summer. I thought they moved it. No, so then we just go to Phoenix and Vegas for the West Coast swing.
Yeah. So it's gonna be Vegas, Phoenix, yeah, and that's it for the West Coast swing.
And then Bristol. That was the kicker too. Is oh shit, yeah, we're getting away of Bristol dirt. I'll take it, but then okay, it's in March.
Yeah,
Guess what it does
dude.
in Tennessee in March?
Yeah, the date they gave it was not good.
Yeah, you should have put that June 9th. Son of a bitch.
I know people say this all the time, but I swear to God, like, just have us sit in the room when y'all are coming up with a schedule.
Yeah, like, hey, guess what? You're gonna win a sweepstakes to be in the room when they decide to schedule next year. And you're like, yeah, imagine how many tickets are gonna sell out for that.
We can even sit in the corner. Like, they could be at a board meeting, like in the table, and we're like sitting in the corner, in the room, just in the corner. And when they're like going over the dates and stuff,
we're
and
gonna bring back Roval. You're like, eh.
We're like, no.
Or you're over there like,
and they're like, bring it back. No
concrete. And you're like,
no.
In March. No. That'd be like a Shane Gillis skit or something. That'd be funny.
Yeah, that'd be great. Can't they trade Roval for Kentucky? Maybe. I just give me another Charlotte date, dude. Charlotte's been so good. Like, I'm cool at this point. I'm cool with going back. I know a lot of people are like, we only need to go once to tracks. I've actually never been on board with that. I like the idea of going to tracks twice. But I like to go to tracks twice if they're good tracks. So
I like the idea of the championship race. We only go there for the championship.
Yeah, the championship I'm fine with. But like, give me 2 Kansas, Charlotte's, Daytona's, Atlanta's at this point. Atlanta's been good. Talladega's. Hell, give me 2 Michigans. Like, they're good races, you know. So I don't know. I'm not totally against just going back to Charlotte for like a 400 even. It doesn't have to be a long race. They should just start the season at Michigan.
You know what's funny? They finally start moving the All-Star race after we were all like, I don't want to see the All-Star. Charlotte's got 3 races. And now Charlotte's become some of the best racing. And I'm like, I would love to see an All-Star race in Charlotte.
Yeah, dude, that's true. We were bitching about Charlotte a couple years ago. That's how fickle we are. Yeah. But they just overcorrect every time. We're not crazy, dude. I'm not, once again, gaslighting. That's like the new theme of every episode. I'm not going to be gaslit into thinking that we used to not have too many Charlottes. I don't know what happened. They just overcorrect every time. I'm just glad I was on the schedule.
Hey, there you go.
For me. Hey, that's sick, dude. I know
it's gonna be a fun race to watch. I think no matter what, it's gonna be a good race. Xfinity at least is always.
I wonder where you live because, yeah, I mean, I can't imagine if you're in certain parts of like the Midwest. Yeah, you're really far from tracks. You know,
I guess you're near Indy or
Kansas City, depending on where you're at.
Still probably 5-7 hours for
dude.
Anybody close.
Yeah, the Midwest states are big too. You got to drive a lot. So I'm glad that the Midwest is getting more racing. Kentucky,
they went to Kentucky and were like, this isn't working. I was like kind of like, man, this it was more just bitching, but then like we had that 4 wide on the last lap kind of shit, but that was just because of the late race restart. I couldn't tell you anything about that race. I would take Kentucky over a street course any day.
That's the thing, yeah. Kentucky was never one of my favorite races, to be honest.
No, but I'd take it. If you told me they'd put it on schedule next week and you can replace the race, I would. Let's say yes.
Well, especially when you look at like where these cars are been performing well at.
Yeah, I'd love to see this car at Kentucky.
Kentucky would fit right in into that. So, yeah, when I would gladly take Kentucky back at this point if they were like, "Hey, we're getting rid of that Chicago race," I'd be like, "Oh, thank God."
Yeah, and I kept hearing all week. I kept hearing about I guess we'll have Iowa since we're gonna have to wait a year for Montreal. I'm like, wait a year for Montreal? What the fuck did I just hear? Like, I'm like, why are we even discussing that? Why is that being brought up? I don't care. 2, I don't care. And 3, I really don't give a fuck about going to Montreal to race a road course. So, like, if it was like, dude, Montreal's got this, like, badass super speedway that's, like, a bigger Dega, and like the fans get rowdy there, I'd be like, maybe we should go to this Montreal thing. But like we're chasing all these like we want to do international racing at the road course, and it's like all of that sounds terrible.
Yeah, no, I'm not on board with any of this.
No, don't care, don't want to see it. Not my NASCAR.
Not my NASCAR.
Hashtag not my NASCAR.
Shrink the sport.
Deadbeat
Yeah, I have no
dad.
interest in. I don't care if we go international or not. At this point, I consider Portland, Oregon international. So let's just say
Right?
Xfinity is international at this point.
Oh, that's what they were like. They were like, there's only one off Xfinity race next season, and it's in Portland. And I was like, y'all are still doing that? Seriously?
right.
Like, tell them they're going to Portland again. Tell them
Ken
they're
already got
going
NASCAR there. CASCAR. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no interest in that, especially for a road course. And that's the thing when they talk about international racing, they're talking about road course racing. Like
Mhm.
ovals are not popular in any
Yeah.
other part of the world,
Don't
really.
care. Don't. I don't know, man. Like we had to watch the Falcons game the other day. They played Jacksonville in fucking Europe, and it was like you could tell people are just there like drinking. Oh, is this a beer? And like, oh, this is good, yeah. And like they're just like picking up some jerseys because they thought they looked cool. And like I'm like, do they even know the rules? Like, they have any idea what's going on? And then I could totally see it just being like the Chicago race, and people are like, it was great, it was awesome.
Yeah. Right.
Van Blickensberg won. It's like, dude, what are we doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
What are we doing?
I'll be interested to see how people react to the Chicago race next year when if there's no issues with rain or anything. I'm sure they'll still find an excuse for something. I can almost guarantee it just because I know the type of people that are going to say it's good. Going to find an excuse. But it's going to get played out real quick. I promise. It's not good racing, man. It's not.
Yeah. No, I still wouldn't know. I just don't want to know. I don't care. It's all bullshit.
So you have no interest in Kyle Larson in the Indy 500?
So, like, I think it's cool. Like, Tony did it. Kurt did it. It's cool. Like, I'd love to see Kyle Busch go do it. It's like, cool, man. I like that drivers going out and do that. But I'm not like, oh, crap, I forgot Kyle Larson had his rookie practice today. I'm like, dude, who fucking cares? Like, let me know when the race starts. Like, that's
Whose voice was that supposed to be?
Dalton's. But yeah, I don't know. I don't fucking care. I don't like. I let me know when the race starts. It's the only Indy race I ever watch every year, and it's badass. The Indy 500 is like king, but I'm not gonna be like, oh, did you see his third lap speed in his rookie practice?
That's the thing. I don't know enough about Indy, so they were talking about like the lap times and the speeds and stuff, and I was just kind of like, okay, I'll just watch the Indy 500. I agree, but I am stoked about it. I think it's very cool.
It makes me wonder if people are like, I can't stand NASCAR, but I will watch the Daytona 500. Like, is there people out there that do that?
Interesting. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm stoked for it. I would love if he was competitive. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, like I'd love to see him give it hell. If he goes and finishes 23rd, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
Yeah. And he very well could. If he went out on his first try and won it, do you think he would have a solid argument to saying that he's the best?
If he went to the Indy
race car
500
driver
and
in
won
the world?
I will coin that he is the best in the. Is it fair? Do you say world?
Yeah.
Is that even fair to say best in the world?
I would say, yeah, I would say because
It's
then
the Indy 500,
because they would be like, oh well, all those F1 drivers, and I'd be like, well, none
well,
of
they're
them
not
have
in the Indy
come.
500,
None of them
motherfucker.
have come and won the Indy 500. None of them have come to the Cup Series and won. None of them
Which
have
I don't even
gone
like
to the Sprint Series and won.
like Max Verstappen's the best driver in the world because he beats the 13 other F1 drivers. It's like, well, he's the only other F1 drivers. Like, put him in a dirt car against Rico. Like, who's gonna win?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah,
right.
He's the best F1 driver in the world. I'll give you that.
And that's kind of the my point is like, I like seeing these drivers hop in other rides just because that's the only way we can determine who the best is across all driving. Because I do think there are people that are just purely talented at racing cars, no matter what kind of car it is. You put them in a car and they win. And Kyle Larson has proven to be one of those guys. He gets in any type of car and he wins. I don't know if there's a type of car he's raced in that he hasn't won at this point, actually. And I'm trying to think about it.
What was it when he got in that? Was it a late model he got in?
Yeah, and he won.
And he
A
he's like,
modified,
I've never
he
even,
won.
or like he just like I'd
He
never
never
even driven
raced
one,
it.
and he fucking killed it.
And it was a top level competition. It wasn't just like
Yeah.
some rednecks in the backwoods. It was like a legit race, and he went out and won. Yeah, there's Kyle Busch has proven to be able to do that as well. So I don't know. I think it's cool, man. I like it, and I am not ashamed to say I like Kyle Larson.
Yeah, dude, if it wasn't the baby blue 5 car, I could totally get aboard.
Yeah, that's the thing. I just, you don't see me really rocking his like Cup Series stuff very often because it's just Hendrick, and it's tough. It's tough to pull off. I doubt he wins in first try. Tony Stewart couldn't win. I think Kyle gonna be good, but I don't think. Yeah, I don't think he'll actually win. I don't know if I might throw like $5 at it, depending on what the odds are. I don't think he'd win. That would be absolutely insane. But if he did, my point is, I think everybody could finally be like, okay, dude, he's probably the best driver in the whole world.
Yeah,
and
I
maybe
would
of
give
all
him.
time.
I think that would be legitimate.
I mean,
The thing
Tony
is,
Stewart,
if he finishes 6th, people are gonna be like, "This is why he's the best in the world." It's like, okay,
well, 6th is still pretty fucking impressive at the Indy 500, right?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, it's impressive.
I would say
best
anything in the
world.
top 10, I would still be like, he might be the best driver in the world if he finishes in the top 10.
Yeah, I guess I'll allow like one of the best.
Well, who would be better, because we don't, and nobody else goes into all these other fields to try it. So
I'm just thinking about, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm thinking. Because I'm like, well, who else? I'm like, dude, I only know like 36 drivers. Okay.
yeah, no, I'm with you. Like I mean, I know of quite a bit of dirt drivers now, but yeah, it's like I know some Cup drivers, I know some Xfinity, some truck, some dirt.
Well, it's always like money and stuff too. It's like, well, yeah, Kyle Larson's also driving some of the baddest ass vehicles. It's not like he's like getting in some shit rod that Jimmy Bob's dad and his uncle's fucking bought
For
or
sure.
built. It's like,
Yeah.
I always wondered too. I was like, what if there's like some kid out there who like fucking destroys,
Yeah.
but like it's just him and his pop building a late model in their garage, and like you'll never know it.
There probably is. But I think if somebody is determined enough to like make a career out of it,
Yeah.
if you're that good and you're like really like kicking everybody else's ass, because if you're really that good, if you're as good as like Kyle Larson, right, that means that you're going up against competition local. You should be lapping those motherfuckers, because that's what Larson would do.
Agreed.
So I think eventually you would get like noticed. People would be like, okay, because I know it's all about money now, but they're like, the guy is, he's won like 30 fucking races and he's only raced like 32. So
Yeah.
at a certain point, the only other thing I can think of is if somebody's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go to job, like a real job, and just not race. I always think about that. I'm like, what if there's like some people in a cubicle that like just gave up because they're like, nah, it's like too much time and money, but they could have been like the greatest driver of all time.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I agree on that one too.
Really, I'm just manifesting, pretending that that's me.
It was you.
Yeah, like that's me, dude. I was hoping that you were just gonna organically be like, oh yeah, dude, I think that's you.
It could have been. You never know.
Pretty raw go-karts, dude. Like when I was a kid, like when I was like 8. I can't afford that
Did I
either.
ever tell you when it was Nathan's bachelor party or whatever, we went and raced go-karts, and like we were
Like the
all
high
like,
speed ones?
yeah, well, like it was like Andretti's, like it was,
Yeah. The
they
indoor.
go fast indoor, like I don't really know how fast they go,
But you had to wear like a helmet.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
wearing a full face helmet and
Yeah.
shit, but like we're all like, I'm gonna fuck you up.
There's
like,
not people over here hitting in a batting cage and then people over here with putt-putts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
right.
not those. Like these,
Yeah,
they go. And
Yeah.
But like, we're all like, I'm gonna fuck you up. No, I'm gonna win. Da, 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 da. And we get out there and like it was competitive. Like me and Nathan are swapping the lead, like trying to battle. Our other friend was there, was fast as shit. And we lapped Justin like 4 times. Like we just kept lapping Justin, and Justin was like, "Man, I almost had y'all." Like we were like, he was like, I was like, "Dude, I think your cart was fucked up or something." Like we were like, "What?" No, he's like, "No, well, we ended up just finding out like that was just Justin driving, like he was just that slow."
That's just how he drives.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was just Justin racing, and we were just totally like, "Yeah, man, like you were in the way." But like Justin,
You know
was
what
like, I almost had y'all.
You know what I don't like about those go-karts, that go-kart racing,
What?
is that it's all time-based.
Yeah. Because I was like, "Dude, I won," and it came back and was like, "Oh, what's his name won?" I was like, "No,
Yeah,
no, he
because I'm
didn't."
like, no, he never passed me. I stayed in front of him, like, I passed the
Yeah,
finish line, and they're like, "There's no finish line, it's time-based." I'm like,
yeah. Fuck you. What?
"What the fuck?" Yeah, they're like, "You actually got 4th." I'm like, "What? That sucks, dude." Um, yeah, I one time in Austin for the race at Coda, they have go-karts set up, which is kinda cool.
Mhm.
So you can go race go-karts, like gas-powered,
Yeah. Outside of
legit one.
Coda, I've seen it like when they do
Mhm.
the blimp view. You can see like a little track out there.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you have to, you put the helmet on and stuff. Like it's like the ones you were probably racing.
Yeah.
And I did it with Tanner, Dale Tanhart, and Chase was
Did he have his
film.
goggles and his little?
No, this was pre goggles and little thing.
Oh.
Chase was filming, and me and him were out there racing. And I came back and I was like, "Damn, dude, I kicked your ass." And Chase was cracking up and he's like, "Dude, it's time based. You did not beat me." And I was like, "Well, I don't know, man. I've crossed the finish line first." And he's like, "There isn't a finish line." And I was like, I just never let it up.
Yeah, I'd
Literally,
like to
like
see that video.
the whole weekend, I just kept. I think he was getting really annoyed because I just kept
Oh
being
yeah,
like, "Dude, I whooped your
he's
ass."
probably
At go
still pissed. Hey, remember that time?
Yeah, Chase got into it too. He was like, "I don't know, man. I don't know if it is time based." He was losing it. It was
Dude,
good.
Nathan, one time, him and his buddy, they like up at Road Atlanta, they have like a go kart school. That like these go karts go like 80 mile an hour,
Oh,
and like you can go up there. It's expensive, but like you pay for like you can go for like 45 minutes, an hour, or an hour and a half. And but like these carts get after it, and it's like crazy. And you can go up there and like race them for fun. I was like, we've always talked about going to do it. Oh,
is it
dog.
the R1
I don't
indoor
know. Nathan's
karting?
done it. No, it's outdoor. Like it's on the racetrack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like it. Nathan said it's sick as fuck. Like he went one time for it was like a birthday present or something, but he went and said sick as shit. But it's like $150. Like go do it.
I mean, I might pay. How long do you get it for?
Yeah, well, I said I think they did it for an hour. Like you get an hour.
You get an hour?
I think that's what it was.
Dude, I'd pay $150 for an hour for the world's
Yeah,
fastest go-karts.
yeah. Like they're fast as shit, and like you race. Like I think I don't. Nathan knows, but like you go and like it's not just one race. You can do like 3 little 20-minute races.
What up, Dalton?
What up, dog? Down with the goddamn Rovals.
Down with the Roval.
Come on, get down with the Rovals.
Boy, there's nothing wrong with me.
Speaking of Rovals, you want to rate this dumb bitch?
God, I actually haven't. I never
I
wrote
wrote
down a
one
rating.
down when the episode started.
You had one written down already?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me pull
I
mine.
did.
I never wrote one down. That's
You
how
want me
much
to
I
say
hate
it
this.
so you can freak out when it's the same number?
You can say it. I'm gonna write one down.
I gave it a 4.8.
Okay. Roval. Dakota. 4.8. I'll go 4.5.
Yeah, nice. I almost gave it a 4.4. I gave it a 4.8 just for the cinematic thing of AJ winning.
Oh,
Ryan.
okay.
I bumped it up. I was gonna give it a 4.4, and then I was like, AJ won. I'll bump it up a hair. He was crying. It was all sweet and cool.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, AJ winning was like,
we probably should have
cool.
mentioned that.
Cool for AJ. Yeah, we never even talked about him. Cool for them. Like they're pretty much all but saying like he's not racing Cup next year, which I think's probably the best because I thought he was going to come in this year and like destroy road courses, and he finally got one. I guess he's pretty good on the Roval. Yeah, Cody's kiss ass opinion doesn't matter.
I don't know, dude. It was pretty
I don't
close.
know. I think the fast car guys liked it, but they were
Yeah.
there and had hot passes.
There
so
was
I
like
get it.
4 or 5 like upvote. I don't know. It wasn't like overwhelmingly negative. I would say our group was probably 2/3
half.
liked it,
Yeah.
or 2/3 didn't like it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was cool. I do agree. That was cool to see him win. That's fair. It should get a little bit extra, but to be honest, I don't know. That's too close to a 5 for me. So I gotta go. I gotta go a little lower.
Yeah. Whoa. Don't bump it up that much. Oh man.
You want to make predictions?
Yeah, let's make some predictions.
Damn, Houston is winning with like 9 minutes
shit.
left.
Dude,
We're
you might have
definitely
to
gonna
shotgun
lose.
a beer.
We're definitely gonna lose. Ain't no way. All right. Let's make these picks, boy.
Underdog pick. I'm gonna go with. Ooh, I know who I'll go with. Eric Jones in the 43 car.
Okay.
They've turned it around. They've been making speed. He'll run 5th and then get a late race yellow and fuck it all up.
Let's see. It's got to be somebody not in the playoffs, and they can't have a win this year, right?
Yeah, there's only like 4 legitimate people.
I don't know. Daniel Suarez.
That sounds perfect.
Who
Good
cares?
Yeah, who cares at this point? Who fucking cares? Don't listen to us. Definitely don't take our advice.
We have lost all
fucking over it. Yeah, just ready to take some time off.
Oh man.
And then I go lock of the week. I'm going Willie B punches his ticket early and goes ahead and gets a dub. He won here in the spring. I think he's a huge contender for the championship and goes ahead and gets that Phoenix car ready.
Yeah. That's a great pick. I'm gonna go Kyle Larson.
Oh, that's another great pick. I think they finished 1-2 in the spring.
They did.
Hendrick's always good here. Denny, I think Denny, it's gonna be like Kyle, Denny, or Willie B. I think that's kind of how this is gonna go.
Alex Bowman's an interesting pick.
Very interesting pick. Didn't the one here the other year or something? He got one late.
Yeah, right.
Race yellow. He stayed out or something.
Yeah,
I remember that.
But yeah, Hendrick's gonna probably do well.
Oh my fucking god, Philly scored again. I'd get. I keep checking the score and it's like boop, boop. boop.
Well, you want to wrap it up then, so you can go.
Yeah,
watch
man.
This?
I don't even want to watch this shit. Yeah, another episode, dude. We're just counting them down at this point. 4 more races for Kevin Harvick. That's sad and cool. 4 forever. Scheme looks like trash as usual.
Yeah, it's not great.
Starting to get more surreal as we get down the road here. A couple more weeks, I'll be at Phoenix. Dude, you know what's bad?
What?
Like, with my mood I've been in, like I was all like 1,000%. Now I'm like 25% don't even want to fucking go to Phoenix.
Dude, you can't bail.
No, I'm going. I've spent a ton of money on this. I'm not now. No, I'm going. I know when I go, I'll be like, I'll be in my feels the whole time.
That's the thing. When you get there, it's gonna change everything.
Yeah, I know, but no, now I'm like, God damn it. I'm sure you get like this with trips. You're like, oh, God damn it. Like 3 weeks.
For sure, dude. Yeah. I do that with.
Well, that's what I'm getting. Where I'm like, oh yeah, Phoenix. I'm like, fuck, God damn it, like going to Phoenix. But I'm like, oh fuck, it's gonna be really cool.
You
like
God damn you it. Also like never fly, right?
Well, I haven't flown in like 6 or 7 years.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I guess.
I
go to the airport and pick people up all the time.
You're gonna hate it.
Yeah, probably. I haven't flown since like 2018, 17.
If people annoy you, you're gonna just hate it.
2016, 17. Yeah, last time I flew was years before
It's
COVID.
only got worse. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Papa Good, better late than never.
Hey.
What's up, Papa Good? We were just signing off.
We're just signing off, actually. But thanks for stopping by, man.
Hey, good to see you, dude. Yeah, man, going to at least we're back at a mile and a half. Vegas has been pretty good. We didn't even talk about this. Vegas has been pretty good the last couple of years. It's growing on me. Probably a fun track to go to for a race weekend with the boys. I'm sure.
Yeah, it would be a great race to go to.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I think it'll be good. I think we see a regular old winner cashes way into the final four.
Yeah, no surprises.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting any surprises.
Yep.
Prove me
Bet on
wrong.
Hendrick.
I would bet on Hendrick hard.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I guess that'll fucking do it.
That'll do it.
All right, we'll holler at y'all.
All right.
All right,
Peace.
peace.